Welcome back, everybody, to episode 181 of the Lookout Podcast and the final episode of our Summer Kame House series, covering Water 7 Saga of One Piece. I'm, of course, Meelz. I am here with LJ himself. What's up, LJ?
What's good? How's it going?
What's going on? It's going as it's going. And we have AD in the building. AD, what's up?
What's going on?
Final, before we officially, I guess we're on the sunny. We've transitioned from the merry to the sunny during this arc. Mm-hmm. So I guess we riding cool. But before we depart, how's everyone's teams doing? I feel like we gotta
Yeah. And guess what? Right now we on top of the league. We back. They counted my boys out. They told me it was over. They told me, oh no, another year. Another year of failure, another year of backsliding. But we back. My sons are back. We got Jazz. That's the Jazz, baby. That's the Jazz, baby.
Shit change. Yeah, it changed during these last.
The energy is different now.
The summer.
The energy is different now. I feel good. I feel loose. I feel light. I feel amazing.
Where are we at?
Listen, man, we got the Rockies. Oh God, we can't drop this series to the Rockies. Listen, we're still above 500. We're still above 500.
Y'all only 3 games out from the wild card. What?
I'm just saying.
Y'all going to
we can do that, but that's
y'all going to listen
right there.
You gotta.
It's just after winning the division, bro. Like
you gotta bet on the Padres still being as good as they are, and like that's Like I can see the Padres.
We won the division for the last 7 years, man. It's bigger than that, and we're just like.
I mean, the Phillies are just that good, though. Even with them backsliding the way they have, they're still a really good baseball team.
Man, listen, we just watched a fucking classic. Team USA,
America.
Oh yeah, shout out to USA.
Team USA beat the Serbs. I'm calling them the Serbs now because I feel like.
We served the Serbs.
We served the Serb. You know what? Back of the New York Post right there. The way Katie, Steph Curry, LeBron put the country on their back. We were down 17. It was looking It was looking like one of them movies, bro.
That first half was crazy for the Serbians. Shout out to my nigga Bogey. But that first half was crazy.
Yeah, shout him out. Your man's, yeah.
That's your man.
If it was fucking OG Anawajo bitch, you know what I'm saying? I would have fucking shouted him out too. You know what I'm saying? So I can't even Mikhail Bogdanovich, you know what I'm saying? I would have fucking shouted him out too. So shout out your man. But he was looking good. Listen, I was like, trade him at the half. You might get something good. You get 2 good players. He's a good player. You get 2 very good players for him right now.
Listen, man, the way that he was working with Jokic, I'm telling you, they might as well go ahead and give us Michael Porter Jr. and a couple of picks.
Oh, they're never giving you that, man. Oh my God. Before we get into the One Piece thing, because this is the final arc of One Piece, we're doing the Post-Enies Lobby arc. Everything kind of after the craziness that's happened for pretty much the past 2 arcs in this saga. And we're going to wrap it up, and we're going to have a little post-mortem, and we're going to talk all about it. But let me look if there's some anime news. The big anime news now is there's a lot of leaks out here, my friend.
Hey, shout out to whoever...
Leaker culture is back.
Man, shout out to whoever just... I don't know. I don't know what their life looks like after this. I don't know what their life looks like post-leak, but they sacrificed a lot. They put a lot on the line for us. So whoever leaked all that, thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. Because the FBI is going to be at their door at any moment.
Listen,
you probably had that mid-year review and it wasn't looking too good. So you said, you know what, I got something for y'all.
Probably did some layoffs and he was like, you know what? F it. Boom. He hit the button.
Oh my God.
Let me see. Is in the list of things leaked. What was the official list of things leaked? It was the first 6 episodes. Adon.
And they said crazy. They said that the rest of the season might end up being.
Yeah. It's nuts.
It was the whole Terminator.
Right, the whole Terminator Zero, which I'm looking forward to watching.
Yeah, me too. I haven't watched any of the leaks, but everything that's been posted about it, and then they do not the trailer,
ReZero season 3, Ranma one half.
That's an old series.
But they're redoing it, right?
Yeah.
Who's the studio? Is it Mappa? No. One of those was a Mappa show. That's the only reason why I remember.
It is Mappa.
It is Mappa. Okay. They're doing the remake, right?
Right. So listen, a lot of crazy stuff got leaked, man. Leaker culture is back, but I feel like also, I don't know. The thing about leaker culture is so much things are just so much more accessible now. I'm probably not going to watch the leaks. I don't even want to really watch things that are of low quality anyway. But so I'm probably not going to watch the leaks. I don't even think they have subs or anything. Like they didn't leak the dub or anything like Fire or anything like that anyway. So I'm going to watch Terminator when it comes out. I'm going to watch Don to Don when it comes out in like 2 months. It's crazy that it leaked now, but you know what? Maybe push the street date up. You know what I'm saying? Like an OG Unit album. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta beat the streets. You know what I'm saying? So maybe push it up. I've got to start watching that Suicide Squad one that's on HBO Max. I got to start watching that.
Okay.
All right. Listen.
Have you watched it, AD?
Not yet. I just started watching Vinland Saga, like going through that.
For the first time?
Like I restarted it.
Ooh, okay.
From season 1?
Should I?
Yeah, season 1 is a classic. I haven't watched season 2 yet.
Yes, absolutely yes.
Season 1 is a classic. I haven't watched season 2 yet. But
the first 3-4 episodes, bro. Oh my god.
On first 3-4.
I was choosing between that, and then I also think I was going to watch the original version of what's my dude? Oh my god, there was just a remake recently. It's like one of them cyberpunk ass. Oh my god, and it's a very notable one too. It's like it goes in the same. It's like the same genre as Cowboy Bebop, but with the guy with the red.
Trigun.
Trigun.
Trigun. There we go.
You're gonna watch that? Did you like Stampede?
I didn't finish watching Stampede.
Okay.
Did you finish watching it?
No. It was no. Okay, it was for no other reason. It was legit for no other reason. Then I got caught up in watching other things.
Yeah,
kind of just like
same.
But I think I watched the first 3 episodes and I liked it a lot.
I was low key.
If we do ever do Trigun, we gotta get J5 on because
no, of course, he definitely wants.
He's a Trigun man.
Also rewatch randomly the Hidden Inventory arc from JJK last year. I was like, damn, this shit still holds up pretty well. I was watching it while like cleaning or doing some chores. Like I just threw it on in the background. Everything looks very, very clean. I'm not sure if they uploaded some new files to them or what the fuck they did, but it looks awesome. So yeah, we're trying to diversify our bonds, especially after we complete this One Piece thing. Because to be honest with you, One Piece has taken over pretty much the base of my anime watching. For summer,
listen, I couldn't stop.
Viral hit. Yeah,
I couldn't stop.
You couldn't stop.
I couldn't stop. I'm already forward.
Yeah, I've learned my lesson. I remember back as a kid, I used to read ahead. When the teacher gave us reading, it's like, oh, read page 12 to 24, and I would read pages 12 to fucking 56, and then I would immediately lose what the fuck they were talking about in this because I had read so far ahead. So from there on in high school, I've never actually like gone ahead anymore unless I need to. But I think I can also squeeze in One Piece with these things. I'm gonna try to program my life so I can kind of like do this because. All right, the next big arc after this is what?
It's a saga.
The next big saga after this is what?
Is gonna be the Sabaody Marineford saga. It's really the Marineford.
Okay.
So wait, and Sabaody's a part of the Marineford saga?
Sabaody is the start of.
That's true.
Yes. from Sabadi all the way down to Post Marineford up until the time skip, which is.
So what would Thriller Bark be a part of? Is that just
It's just its own thing. It's his own thing.
It calls this the Summit War Saga.
Yes, that's the actual. Yeah.
Okay. So it's got Sabadi, Amazon Lily arc, Impel Down arc, Marineford arc, and Post War arc. So I really just have to get past Thriller Bark, and we'll be next to the next big one.
You would like Thriller Bark because the humor in Thriller Bark is really up your alley. If you like, if Spondon made you laugh, like this whole arc is gonna make you crack up.
I'm gonna watch. I'm definitely gonna continue watching. At this point, I'm too far in to like not stop watching. But I'm gonna get there. Let's see, especially considering like My Hero's Dead.
My Hero's Dead is crazy.
Like it's just.
But gone. Is it?
No,
is it?
I think he's seen that Horikoshi statement. He said, "Hey, the funny thing is, the money's still printing, and I'm not finished."
So the funny thing is, we had hyped up. So we recorded last week. Shout out to Skip for being on the episode last week. So we recorded last week talking about the manga, and there was this big announcement that was supposed to come out. Big announcement ends up being a popularity poll, which we should have. This is like the biggest Japanese trick that they've ever got. Is like, oh, we got a big announcement, another popularity poll. So it's like, but it's this global popularity poll. So I don't really care about the announcement. I haven't really voted yet. I don't really plan to vote. It is what it is. However, Horikoshi definitely put out a statement. Was it today? I guess it was today. Or last night or something. And pretty much hinted like we're not finished yet. Like the manga may be done, but we still got more stories to tell. We still got more things to do. We still got more chocolate to eat. Like it's not over yet. Which I expected.
Yeah, like come on, man. It's too much of a cash machine right now.
I think it's more so. Well, yes, obviously, it's for the money. Like they're gonna still produce movies. I'm assuming. I think movies will be more important since essentially you don't really have any more of the source material. So this is kind of like the only real new original My Hero content that you will get. So I think it'll be important. And yeah, it's a.
We're getting the My Hero cinematic universe.
They can't do it. They can't do it now. They can't do it now. If they would have started building it, they should have started building that if they really wanted to in the first movie. After the first,
but they had to get through this because this was still a prequel. You know what I'm saying? This was still a backstory. We had to get through. This is how we became the greatest heroes. And now that they did that, now we can have our Iron Man become the greatest
heroes. Oh yeah, that would be tight though. That would be sick. That would be sick. We could definitely have be at San Diego Comic-Con.
We're gonna get the MHA origins. Let's just start getting. I need the.
Do you think they would do? Do you think there was rumors of like a live action My Hero Academia? Am I bugging?
I don't know, but you see that news about the Naruto live action one?
No, but go on.
That went underground. Right. I ain't heard that one in a minute.
The Naruto live action? Yeah. I don't know who retweeted it, but it was like some little report, and once again, it could have been just some whatever, but it was just talking about how it's just looking bad. How it's looking horrible.
So
they said
according to no, go ahead.
No, I was saying like it was just looking bad.
So according to Collider.com, a live action film adaptation of My Hero Academia has been in development at Netflix for a year now. The producer, Joby Harold, confirmed that the upcoming project may have already started production. In a quote, says in a conversation during an interview, he said, "Yes, it is happening. Absolutely. It is something I'm working on and loving working on. I'm excited to do it and get out there. It's a big one. We're actively working on it." And yeah, so this was at the end of last year. So with everything kind of ending, with Netflix in their big live action bag, you could potentially be looking at 2025 for live action My Hero. And potentially bringing the whole series over to Netflix like they do with everything else. Let's see what else is out there in the ethos. What else is bugging out there? Is there any other news? Is there any other thing people are watching before we get into this Post-Enies Lobby?
Do y'all feel it's been a slow year
anyone want to get
anime-wise?
off their chest? Go ahead.
I watched. Wait, go ahead.
I say, do y'all feel it's been a slow year anime-wise?
Nah, I don't actually think so. No.
There's been a lot that's come out. I
feel that there's
anything
outside of a couple things. I mean, we're what in August now.
Mm-hmm.
There's not many things in my head that I'm like can fully. Solo Leveling was good.
Solo Leveling.
Kaiju number 8 had a good season.
Oshinoko is out right now.
Oshinoko is out right now. I haven't seen too much about it.
My Hero's out. Dandadan is out.
Well, Dandadan will be coming soon. So yeah.
Right. So a lot of
what
things
would you think is like from the internet standpoint? What do you guys think would be the anime of the year right now?
Solo Leveling, probably.
It'll probably end up being Solo Leveling.
I think when Solo Leveling was airing, that was the most I was seeing people talk about a show personally than probably anything else this year.
Also, what else came out this year? No, I think they would probably go with Kaiju number 8 and be real.
Oh yeah, Kaiju number 8 was getting a lot of love too.
Yeah,
even though the art in that second episode was still hilarious.
No, did you finish it? Did you finish Kaiju number 8?
I haven't finished it. I probably got 2-3 more episodes.
Okay, yeah, it's fully dubbed now.
Okay, perfect.
But
I've been a dub man.
It was, yeah, it's fully out. It's fully dubbed. No, I think in the interesting way that they decided to put it out, I think it was premiered on Twitter. It had a global release. Everyone kind of got it at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
The episode was up as it was airing in Japan. So it wasn't like anything. This was a pretty monumental release. The intro song and the outro song done by actual popular acts. It felt like there was like a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of attention putting into making this an actually good series. People probably won't have any kind words for Demon Slayer's Hashira training arc, even though I think it was a very good adaptation of an arc that's pretty much like was not that long in the manga, but they managed to stretch it out with a lot of original content.
And I mean, technically, that's their last season.
Yeah, My Hero should, but I feel like it won't. I feel like because of the manga thing, maybe it will get some acclaim. But realistically now, people are just.
Do you think people have MHA fatigue? You think that's why? Cause I'm like, I feel like the moments that are happening in My Hero right now.
There's no fatigue because niggas stopped watching it years ago. Like,
yeah,
I don't think it's fatigue. I think people are just haters. Like, it's a really good series and people are just being mean. I don't know.
I guarantee you though, when the series ends, it will be a lot of people like, okay, I'm gonna go back and actually like tap in.
Yeah,
I finished it out.
That's what So J5 likes the series, but he was like, all right, I'm just going to wait for it to end to binge the rest. And I think, honestly, that's probably going to be the best way to watch it because I can't watch this.
Throughout the series, I mean, we even talked about it in the manga of just like this whole thing in full as a completed work reads and feels so much better than the piece by piece.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think, because our big argument all the time is, no, you got to wait for it to end and then you can read it all in full context. And in full context, it's so much.
My big argument was always that people can't read.
Yeah, so maybe.
And that
people are impatient.
Yeah, people want certain things from it that it's not delivering, so they're getting frustrated by it. That's why I think people have turned their nose up at it. People want JJK, but they're not getting it. People want
told you it's the last of the workhorses. People don't want to go 7-8 innings no more. They like, hey man, give me 5 good ones, and I can throw in the relievers.
Even Solo Leveling, why it's acclaimed so much is probably because of all the gory fights, and it's like an episode where it's like fighting every episode, like with stakes at the end of it,
and it doesn't feel so. And like, I don't know, I feel that there's no. I haven't read Solo Leveling. I haven't read Solo Leveling, so I'm only saying it's based off the first season. Is that
right? In its genre, I don't think it.
I
In its genre, I think My Hero doesn't hold up. Like for instance, right? Like Spy Family holds up really well in its genre, despite it not having all the things of a typical shonen, but it holds up really well with like kind of like adventure, slice of life kind of thing. It holds up really well with that. Also, it's still relatively new. But like things like My Hero or Dr. Stone, they don't hold up as well because they're not able to keep people's attentions because they don't have these large cataclysmic events that everyone's kind of building up to. Like even when you see One Piece trending, right? Like One Piece kind of trended last week for something that we're going to talk about today. We were introduced to a character today that is had a big moment last week. Had this big move. I don't even know what it's fucking called. What was it called?
Galaxy Impact.
Galaxy Impact.
The animation was crazy.
He's just so happy.
Hey man, listen, we're gonna talk about it later, but it's just yeah, man.
Nah, I feel you. But it's definitely, it doesn't have the moments like that, so it doesn't really hold up the attention of people, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. I like what I like, and I enjoy what I enjoy, and that's what I can say. My reason for enjoying things does not follow the public opinion.
Oh, I mean, yeah, for sure. Like, listen, I think at any moment things are gonna turn. I feel like when JJK hits calling games or post calling games a little bit, like the people are gonna have their critiques about it too. I think Solo Leveling has done so well because once again, basing off the first season, I've not read it. It could probably get deeper as time goes on, but like the premise of the show is it's not too much deepness. There's not a lot of depth to it.
Yeah,
it's like,
and I'll say, as someone who read it, I will tell you right now, the anime does at least the beginning way better because the first episode is like 15 chapters worth of content. Like the first 2 episodes. So it's like, damn, they really condensed all of that down and made that prologue really easy to digest.
And then I'm not sure. Have you watched Tower of God?
Yuck, no.
Not this second season, but I've read the parts that they're at right now, and it's a good arc. The part that they're at is a good arc right now.
Okay. But I still hate it, but I might check the first episode and see what they got going on. But one thing, when you mention culling games, I think people will say that this culling games season of JJK is probably going to be the best season of JJK. I guarantee you people say that.
Oh, for sure. I'm saying after Post. I
guarantee you even after that.
Within the first,
the best. Yes.
7 episodes.
Fighting. It's what JJK
true.
does best.
That's true.
It is what they do best.
Yeah.
Like
I think that's the difference. I think that's the difference of JJK the anime and JJK the manga, but also the difference between My Hero the manga and My Hero the anime is that JJK the manga, people have turned on it at the end because it's like there's so much going on. And it's like, right. you're getting explanation of techniques and this and that and that and this. And it's kind of gone off the rails. And it's like, oh, what is all this like? But I think the anime, all the fighting and all the action is going to be able to take away from that. It's going to be able to take away from kind of the mumbo jumbo that makes it more confusing because you're just going to be looking at a visual spectacle. I think My Hero does a really good job of fleshing out a story, which makes it really fun to read. Because you're just like, okay, wow, you're getting these backstories, you're getting these things, loose ends tied up, But when you're watching it as an anime, it feels very slow sometimes. Or it feels very like
in the middle. Yeah, I can definitely say that because there's large portions where it's not. The stakes aren't always as high as they are. You essentially have to. It's kind of a thing. They do this in wrestling, right? Where they kind of tell stories in the ring. A match won't immediately start out hot all the time, especially if you're coming out. If you just end after if your previous match was a tables match, essentially, and you just exhausted the crowd, it was like, oh my god, everyone jumping off of ladders, jumping off of tables. Usually that next match is a lot slower, got kind of rest holes. You got to settle the crowd down again to be able to build them back up.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what My Hero does. But we'll see how all these things go, and we'll see how everything kind of reacts. Let's talk about this Post-Enies Lobby arc of One Piece. We've got Robin back. This is a big thing. Robin is back. She's locked in. She's here. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. She's gang. You know what I'm saying? There's no like, what's that lady about? What's her angle? She don't even seem like she really want to hang out with kids, to be real with you. But nah, she's fully locked in. It's crazy. I like this opening. It feels very, like I said, in terms of things that's like bringing it down, but still very enjoyable. I love this like opening few episodes of the Post-Enies Lobby arc. I love that they're able to like celebrate. I love that they're heroes, kind of. I love that we get kind of like the good feels back in One Piece, because it was very intense for a while. Mm-hmm. And then we're introduced to Vice Admiral Garp, who shows up, does his thing, and then introduces himself as the grandfather of Luffy, which is weird because I guess in the full live action it's like introduced way earlier.
They did that so out of turn. I like.
Yeah, AD was like, I'm ready to turn this off, man. I know the first few episodes you were like, I don't know. I kind of get
why they did it like that in the live action though, because it's like you kind of had to have some type of, I'm not gonna say like consistent threat, but like the Marines was like a consistent threat throughout the live action. You're kind of just like, all right, they're trying. That's how they use the Marines. They use his grandpa chasing him as this vehicle to continue to push the story forward. Because you're like, oh shit, the Marines is pulling up. We got to get on out of here. Like it was always kind of like that.
That's the other thing though. The other thing though about that in comparison from live action to anime and manga is like, that was Smoker's job. So like we didn't even get Smoker yet. They had to just introduce Garp at that moment way early back. We didn't even get his dad yet. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, like man, it's one of those things where the budget, you gotta add the Smoker budget. The Smoker budget coming in. Season one was the Smoker. Listen, they have the Smoker budget for season one. They were like, you got to give them a regular. But I mean, even before Garp pulls up though during this Post-Enies Lobby, I think the moment between Aokiji and Robin, that kind of.
Well, that happens afterwards.
Wait, that does happen.
You can.
Yeah, that happens after.
Oh, I'm tripping. After. I thought the party thing was happening. Then Garp pulled up and ruined their.
No, because I think what happened was they started working on the ship, and in the meantime, Luffy is recovering. He's asleep.
There we go. Yeah, he was still recovering when this all happened. Yeah, it just imagine your grandpa punching you.
I was going to bring it up. Right, I was going to bring it up, but it just so happened. So the thing that when Frankie took the money and spent the 200 million berries on something, it just so happened it ends up to be this like very rare, I guess, tree with this very rare wood to be able to build a very incredible ship. And now that all these things are kind of like wrapped up and they're all friends now, and they also lost a ship and they all these other things, Frankie says, you know what, we're going to use this to build you guys a new ship free of charge. Whatever we were going to charge you before, we'll charge you for this, even though I guess they still get the charge.
Pay for it.
Yeah,
we'll pay 200 million berries. You know what I'm saying? Also, but he's like, all right, I guess I'll give you it.
Also, Meelz, this is why you said don't read too far ahead.
See, this is what I said. With that said, we get introduced to Vice Admiral Garp. He does not come alone. I was genuinely surprised when I saw this. So he's not only alone. Zoro's fighting a lot of the Marines as well, and then we're also introduced to two people who end up finding Zoro and Luffy. We end up finding them out. It's a very big time skip. It is Kobe and what's my man's name? I bet he typed it. I bet he typed it. I forgot it too. El Mepo. Kobe, man, what a glow up, bro.
I know. Look at him.
Was a nerd.
Garp had him on that P90X, man.
He had him on that HGH. That's what he had him on. He had him on that TRT treatment.
He's doing well, man. He looks good. he's following his dreams. He's becoming a Marine. He's becoming one of the best Marines out there. Like, he's doing his damn thing. They're excited to see each other. They're excited to share this kind of moment. It's super dope. He tells him about
Kobe's the grandson that Garp always wanted.
Yeah, the one that listens. The one that follows its instructions. Through this entire conversation, we're introduced to not only that, like, they found another way to get around Reverse Mountain, which is kind of like, it was like, yeah, we took the SSN, you know what I'm saying? Like, one of those things. But also, we get a lot of brief introduction things of, like, talk about the New World and talk about Dr. Vegapunk and, like, talk about a lot of different things that are going to, you can see the wheels really, really moving now in the direction with this series, with a lot of things that are brought up. And one thing Oda kind of does is he'll sprinkle them in. And maybe this is just for multiple watches. So if you go back and watch it, you usually catch all this stuff. Like, I'm assuming the second rewatch of One Piece is vastly different than the first.
Oh yeah, because you see things that are planted from the absolute beginning, like first episode. You're like, oh shit, you know, like that's what that meant.
Right.
That's what you know, like it's.
But they're also sickos from trying to make you rewatch the entirety of One Piece. So yeah, they're not. But it is
what it is, baby.
Right? I guess I should just
listen. No, I'm gonna be real.
Okay,
I'm gonna be real. I'm not gonna look at people that watch the One Piece in the same light as people who watched One Piece. I'm sorry, y'all ran from the grind.
Rightfully so.
Y'all ran from the grind. I can't, like, you know, I don't know. I'm kind of putting the diamond tester to their, you know, to their fandom. Like, you ran from it. You got the abridged version. You weren't in the trenches. That's all I'm saying.
Come on, man.
Here's the thing. There are other things that get introduced in this anime and manga that I know that the One Piece is going to just take out. Like, even to the point where we got the cover story stuff with Kobe and Helmeppo doing training with Garp. A lot of people probably won't see that. Or if you skip the filler, you would probably think that's also filler, but that actually happened in the anime. So it's like, why are y'all running?
Don't run from the grind, man.
It's a lot of things. But yes, let's talk about this discussion between Robbie and Akoji. They're having a party. Everyone's enjoying themselves. Robin grabs a drink, and suddenly Akoji shows up behind the wall, says, listen, don't tell nobody I'm here. And then he says, like, you could have ran if you wanted to. You could have really got away from CP9 if you wanted to. Why didn't you? And she just explains that she really wanted to save her comrades. And he explains that kind of like everything that he also went through with this, like even with what's my man's name?
Saul.
Yeah, like he was one of his friends and all this other stuff like that. And he asks if Robin has found, have you found what you were looking for? And she essentially says yes. And it's a great moment. It's a great, like, bring this kind of like full circle moment. It kind of low-key reminded me of, there's this, to what I would probably say is the best episode of Yu Yu Hakusho. Animation, tone, weight. I think it's episode 66 or 67. Where it's Genkai meets up with Toguro in the afterlife. And they have this discussion about, I mean, it's a little bit more weighted, it's a bit more lovey, it's a little bit more thing, but essentially it's like wrapping this big thing up and not necessarily closing the chapter on this, because I'm sure there's still more stuff that happens following this. But essentially bringing it in the context of this saga, this arc, kind of like bringing it to a healthy close. What are you guys' thoughts on this moment?
It's a very powerful moment because Aokiji was also there when all of this, all the tragedy happened and everything like that. And in the background, you just see everybody celebrating. You know, a Straw Hat Party don't stop till 8 a.m. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that he wasn't there to ruin the party and nothing like that. He was just wanting to talk to Robin right quick and just say, "Hey, I'm really happy for you right now." Like, you know.
I think it's a situation where it's like they're like in that moment, like Robin and Aokiji, they're different sides of the same coin. You know,
right?
Like if there's anyone who truly understands and know what Robin has gone through is Aokiji, because he was the one who did it to her.
Yeah.
You know,
He even says that like you don't even know that the decisions that he made during that day or anything after were the right decisions.
yeah,
Right.
and it's like he was able to be like, at that time, as any soldier, I was just taking orders. That's what was that's what was happening. I was taking orders. That's just what it was. And he has that moment has impacted him in a certain way. Like he's talked about, like Saul was my friend. Saul was my guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to go, and still I had, for him to turn his back on the Marines at that time, I had to treat him like an enemy, but that's still my friend,
Right.
And I think, like you said, Meelz, I think this moment right here was just a great way to close this up, like to end this chapter, because it not only wants, like, I don't want to say it, like, continues to humanize Robin, but it also continues to like validate her choice of, no, she's really a Straw Hat Pirate now.
Right, exactly, and I think they do an amazing job with that. What I do want to ask is, like, does this continue moving forward as someone who has never watched? Like, do we get more meetings between Aokiji and Robin, or is this kind of it?
This is, well, at the end of this arc, kind of sort of Aokiji comes back, but this is the last time, quote unquote, that those two are together outside of like movie stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's wrapped up. Before we get to the
after this, it's a while until we see Aokiji again, right?
Yeah, we don't see him until the war, till Marineford.
Till Marineford, and then even after Marineford, it's a while till
there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happens after Marineford, but yeah, we don't really see him again until Marineford.
Yeah.
So before we get to the extracurricular stuff, I kind of want to put all the New World stuff, the things that happen in different areas. I want to kind of put that together, but I want to put it at the end because I'm assuming it has major implications on following arcs that can be referenced. So I want to circle back to these new bounties now, because the new bounties is out. New bounty newsletter is out. The entire world is known that these guys have had a price on their head. Shout out to Young Buck. And I might make that the theme of this episode. They got prizes on my head. So they're going to Fishman Island next, but before they go, they receive their new bounties, and we get 300 million berries for Monkey D. Luffy, 120 million berries for Romano Zoro. New bounties introduced for a few other people. Nami gets a new bounty, 16 million berries. Chopper, who is known as a pet, I guess that's 50 berries, which is crazy. Sanji gets 77 million berries. Sniper King has 30 million berries. And then we have Nico Robin herself, which is 80 million berries. This is they're very excited. Well, the Sanji part is fucking hilarious. Like,
that comes back up.
That comes back up too in a very hilarious, episode. A stretch of episodes.
It's amazing. I like that they're excited about it. I like that now they feel validated as a crew for having a major bounty. Also, you go against the government and win, you damn near better have the highest bounty that's ever existed ever. So now, Pirate's going to be coming after them. The government is coming after them. They're like a real deal crew. Like, they're like, they put
names out there. Frankie gets a bounty too, right?
Frankie gets a bounty too. Where's this bounty at?
I think it's like
44 million berries.
44 mil? Okay.
And because his gang is like, yo, Frankie's got a bounty too. He can't stay here. Y'all need to take him with you. And it gets into this entire hilarious situation where Frankie joins the Straw Hat Pirates in the most weirdest, hilarious. It's like a funny version of how Ash catches a Pokemon. Because he never catches them outright in a battle. He's got to like do something else. It's like the Bulbasaur thing where he's like, you save all these Pokemon, you would have come with me. That's legitimately how I kind of read this. Frankie's get his trunk stolen. He's walking around bare ass everywhere. And the ones who have it is Monkey D. Luffy, and he says, "You got to join our crew to get your trunks back." Robin ODs. I don't know who taught her how to use this with that.
That is crazy.
Where she uses her Le Fleur to really put the crank on him in a way that is unimaginable. I could never, just in general.
I'm about to say something crazy.
I was going to say something even crazy.
I didn't want to see, because listen, we on YouTube now, so it's don't. Yeah, I wouldn't say.
That's all I gotta say. Shout out Robin.
Yeah.
You know, you got the balls
Long
to do
range.
it. You can do it. You know what I'm saying? But either way, they do eventually convince Frankie. We get the backstory of him meeting his crew, him meeting the fucking square froze. You know what I'm saying? You get the whole backstory. He's going through his whole history of how he ended up here, even back meeting with Tom and then Iceberg and all these other stuff like that. It's a very, very joyous moment. He eventually does become the new shipwright for the Straw Hat Pirates, which is what they came for at the beginning of all this anyway. So again, a good full circle moment kind of wraps up here in the Post-Enies Lobby arc. Frankie is officially part of the Straw Hat Pirates crew. I'm looking forward to seeing how everything kind of unfolds with him after this. So I'm going to definitely stay tapped in.
He low-key becomes, I think me and AD said this last episode, but he low-key becomes one of the most enjoyable members on the crew and has some of the best moments like moving forward.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Also, we got one more thing before everything kind of goes off. So, unfortunately, the Marines get like pretty much they were like, "Yo, y'all got to catch a Straw Hat Pirates." Like, y'all, I couldn't believe you went there to say what's up to your grandson and say what's up to your peoples and dap them all up and realize that there's a 300 million bounty on them and that they destroyed the world government. No, y'all motherfuckers turn back around. So Kiji's there. Who else is fucking there besides Garp?
Kobe.
It's really them, but Garp is the one that mainly handles everything.
Yeah. He gets in his bag. He drops the Iron Fist Meteor. He's throwing cannonballs by himself. They have to try to. Well, we get the Thousand Sunny also as well. So
yeah,
that's a big part of it. Thousand Sunny. It looks awesome. It looks state of the art. It looks fucking. Hope they keep this as best kept as they did. Better kept than they did the Mary. But it embodies the spirit of the Mary in a kind of way on its own. So they're trying to get away from all this other stuff, but there's one more person left that they still have to
also get. shout out to the scene where they're all attempting to name it. That was great.
Oh yeah.
That was tough. So Usopp, who has been preparing to join this crew again for the last number of weeks, I guess, or days or whatever, he's been practicing like, how am I gonna let me back in? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me back in.
Y'all boys, like,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he's been preparing for that, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make it sympathetic, you know what I'm saying? I might sing a song, something like that. However, the way this all kind of unfolds is they're departing. He ends up running down. You get this flashback of this meeting that they have. Let's talk about this meeting, because Zoro, once again, voice of reason in all of this. Because Luffy's like, all right, let's
beat some ass too. He was like, I don't give a fuck. He was like, hey,
yeah,
I don't give a fuck about none of that.
In the midst of all of this, of the last few days, Usopp is practicing, and then Sanji hears him, so he relays the message when they have the meeting, and Luffy's like, shit, let's go get him right now. And Zoro is like, we can't do that. Yeah. I'm not gonna let nobody disrespect my captain. Nobody on this crew. He could just walk in and out as he pleases and do this shit all over again. Not happening.
He has to say sorry. He has to apologize.
He has to pay
his ties. You know what I'm saying? He's got to do all that.
Should have got DP'd.
re-jumped in. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
listen,
saying?
you gotta. Hey, listen,
Um,
he had to earn his stripes again with me. I get it though,
you know
because
what
it's
I'm
just
saying?
like once again
It's about respect.
Yeah, it's about respect, and this is why Zoro's the number 2. This is why he's the vice captain in my eyes, because it's like
That's why he's muscle.
he has to be able to, you know, you have to be able to draw a line somewhere. You gotta be like, hey,
You know,
you can't be just be crossing in and out or just be a habitual line stepper. I ain't playing them games.
you know, you know what I'm saying. If DeJounte Murray ever wanted to come back on the Hawks, he would have to. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if Alec Burks ever wanted to come back to the Knicks,
You gotta kiss the ring.
you gotta kiss the ring. We got a new captain, baby. New town, new city.
He came back twice though. Well, never mind.
Yeah, nah, he definitely did. He definitely did. I would invite Alec Burks back. I'm like, you know what, come back, bro. So they all ride off. They get Usopp is running. He makes his big apology. He's teary eyed. Luffy's teary eyed. Luffy uses his gum thing to grab onto him and pull him onto the ship. The whole crew's back. It's a good feeling. They managed to use the Kuda burst, which is a new, I guess, part of the Thousand Sunny.
Yeah, it's the technique that Frankie likes to use, and he incorporated that into the ship. So
it could launch itself into the air and escape all these motherfuckers again. So shout out to that. And that is kind of like how we see everything kind of like wrap up with the Straw Hat Pirates in this arc. Now let's talk about all this other stuff that happens that I'm not fully quite sure of what's going on yet.
First thing though we skipped over that is probably going to lead into this is the fact that like they introduced his dad, Monkey D. Dragon.
Yeah, the
revolutionary, who we've seen before.
We've seen him.
But he didn't say that. What's the spot?
Logtown.
Yeah,
we saw him way back, and he ain't saying nothing about it. So when they introduced him, it's like, that was your pops. Your pops is fucking.
They said that he's more of an enemy to the government than damn pirates.
That nigga's Huey Newton. That's what they call this man.
he's more of a threat to the government than even pirates are, which is crazy.
Yeah.
You get introduced to his pops. God, there's so much that happens.
No, I'm glad that no one really fully knows, and I'm not sure how this kind of like ends up. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that we got to go to like we've seen his brother, seen his dad, seen his grandfather. We're getting the whole family tree right here. But 80, I need you to explain this to me. What the hell is going on in the New World? We got Shanks and Whitebeard. We got Ace and Blackbeard.
Oh man,
what is
wait?
Let me tell you. All right, hold on. I'm gonna let Jamal go first.
First of all, we gotta understand this. I don't think people like that meeting between Shanks and Whitebeard, right? That shit is what changes the entire trajectory of everything. Of absolutely everything. Because Shanks is going to Whitebeard like, listen, I understand. Teach. He was wilding the fuck out. He broke the number 1 pirate rule. We understand that. But I don't think you understand what the situation that Ace is about to put himself in that is about to throw off the entire balance of power, is about to fuck everything up because you don't understand. Like, this nigga Blackbeard got some shit under his belt.
Right.
Here's how crazy this is, right? We get introduced to Ace and mentions of Blackbeard way back when they first met Chopper.
I remember
way back
for sure.
All of that. So like Ace went on the whole journey just to find Blackbeard. So he's like, I'm in Alabasta looking for somebody. You know what I'm saying? And then we get introduced to Whitebeard in Skypiea Jaya. This is when we get all of this information about like, oh, Luffy got a bigger bounty. What's happening on the other side of the world? A lot of things that happen within One Piece introduce like greater pirates. So we get Blackbeard during that moment. We get Whitebeard during that moment. And so all of these powers meeting up following those events is one of the best things. And so in this moment, we get introduced to the 4 emperors, and two of them that we know for sure are Whitebeard and then Shanks. And so the fact that they're meeting right now,
they show a silhouette of Big Mom. Kaido's the big secret here.
Yeah, they show like him kind of sort of, but he's like behind Garp or whatever like that, so you really don't see him. Mm-hmm. So like, but yeah, they introduced them, and then those 4 pirates rule the new world, which is the second half of the Grand Line. So any islands in that side of the world belong to any one of those 4 pirates. It's one of the craziest things where we're supposed to go to Fishman Island, which is a part of the new world, and it's Whitebeard's territory technically, but we're not even going there after the spoiler alert. We're not seeing that shit until after the time skip. Like, that's how crazy this is. And we also get introduced to hockey, the mention of hockey for the first time. And what that is, I'm gonna break it down, is a power that allows normal people to hurt devil fruit users. That is how Garp is able to hurt Luffy when he punches him, because he has hockey.
And that's how, like, Shanks, although Shanks isn't a devil fruit user, that's how he's able to be one of the 4 emperors, because he just has, his pocket is that powerful.
Yes. Right. So when you say this becomes massive in a way, because to be honest with you, it's pitched to me as like a very, like, this meeting between Shanks, it's like, it's a big deal. Shanks and Whitebeard, it's a big deal, don't get me wrong. But it also is like, it's tacked on to the end of an episode. They don't really go back to it until for a few more episodes after that. We get the confrontation between Ace and Blackbeard. When you talk about how important this is to the episode, like, what does this necessarily spark? And I don't say how it comes to fruition, but like, what does this necessarily spark in a way?
This sparks the entire Summit Wars saga,
essentially. No.
And why?
Because Shanks tells Whitebeard, yo, you needed to pull Ace back. Watch out for Blackbeard. He did this to my face. And Ace fights Blackbeard. Spoiler, he loses. Yes. So now Ace is on the execution block. And that is the entire point of the...
No, my bad. But Blackbeard brought Ace to the Marines. And so that's how Blackbeard, who before this moment has no bounty, he's a relatively unknown. He brings Ace to the Marines, and he automatically gets a warlord status. So he goes from a nobody to a warlord, essentially overnight.
Overnight. And because of that, he has immunity from the government. He can go to any type of facility that he wants to. He's a pirate that's working for the government. We already get established in this that he will hide behind somebody just to further his own means. He did that with Whitebeard. He's doing that with the government in this moment. So everything that's happening with Blackbeard right now, him setting up his own plans in the background, and we're only getting like a few episodes of him seeing what he's capable of, especially with his darkness fruit. It's a lot of the stuff that is setting up for the events that happen after Thriller Bark.
And
it shows what kind of a threat that he really is.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm saying, like, even then, like, when we talk about his devil fruit powers, there's a moment in Impelled Down, because that's, like, listen, Blackbeard wastes no time flexing that immunity power. Wastes no time in flexing that immunity at all. And there is a moment between, is it Eva and Luffy, or who is it in Luffy? No, it's Jinbei and Luffy. Where Jinbei was like, listen, Blackbeard isn't a normal person. Like, there is something really weird about this guy. There is something really, like, he ain't right. Like, there's something really wrong about him. You need to be careful, and you need to be like, this is not somebody that you just play around with.
Yeah. Right. And when you go back and watch the Jaya arc with him meeting Luffy for the first time, you know, they're kind of like clashing in opposites or whatever like that. And after this big bar fight, he says, hey man, dreams don't die. And as he's walking away with Zoro, Nami's like, who is that guy? And they sit there and have a moment where it's like, him. It's more like them. You know, it's a little bit more of whatever the fuck. Is he more than one person? Theories in the fandom or whatever like that. But he has a lot more to his character than what we initially see, and all we see is him doing this stuff. You know, just I will say he's not dumb. He's not dumb at all. He will definitely back out of a fight that he can't win or he thinks he can't win.
And it's not even thinking that he can't win. It's more so of him being like he knows how to be patient. He knows when to strike, and he knows when to be like, "Hey, let's pull back. I got I accomplished what I needed to accomplish here. There's no reason for me to go any further. Just he's one of those guys. He's like, just let all the dominoes fall into place. I don't need to do too much. All I need to do is just nudge it a little bit."
Because the fact that he was chasing after Luffy, he was going to Water 7 to fight Luffy, and Ace stopped him in this moment. So, like, that's another thing. Do you think Luffy could have beat Blackbeard in this moment?
Probably not.
If he actually... And the fact that he beat Ace in this moment, who's supposed to be stronger than Luffy, you know what I'm saying? It's a big thing where it's like, well, damn, how is this going to fall out?
Well, first of all, I enjoy both of you guys going back and forth like Styles and Jada on this topic. Because that shows how much you're invested in this. Also, this is what this arc is kind of like beginning to push in motion, right? Like, this is why we chose this as kind of like one of the big arcs to really go through, because it really sets the story off. And I think Water 7 kind of begins the, well, I can't say this, but I'm just inferring, right, from reading stories and kind of like everything. It begins to really like set in motion all the pieces and all the players and kind of like how everything is going and how Straw Hat Pirates fit into all of this and where their positioning is at in all of this. But the Water 7 saga kind of like wrap this up. First of all, I enjoyed it. I wouldn't be talking about it for the last 8 weeks if I didn't. Going back and enjoying this, but also like it holds up pretty well. I feel like you guys enjoyed it too, or in a rewatch of going this. Like, kind of give me your overarching thoughts on Water 7, how it plays in this, how it feels compared to the rest of the story, and like just overall, yeah.
I think like what I love about Water 7, and especially rewatching it, is that this is kind of the solidification of the Straw Hat Pirates. This solidifies them as a real pirate crew. And I think moving forward, I think the arc after and everything after this, between the time skip and this, I think everything after is more so of them growing as individuals. Until we get to the post time skip, like they're kind of just more so they're growing as individuals. You kind of see like, okay, they need to get stronger individually. Yeah. This right here, it solidifies them as a group. You know they're not going nowhere. You know they're not breaking up. You know that no one's gonna sit there and turn her off and cross. Like, this solidifies their crew, and I think this is what this whole arc is so important, because it's like as a pirate crew, they set this war against the government. You know, they make themselves a real and true threat. And throughout this, up until this point, although they were a group, they just kind of felt like people who were more so thrown together. Like, I kind of just got sucked into this journey. But okay, I'm here. But like this right here is like, no, we're the fucking Straw Hat Pirates. That is who we are. This is the set that we claim. There ain't no turning back. There ain't no none of that. Like, even the Usopp moment is really like one of those things where even once he joins back, of just letting them know, like, hey, even within this group, I'm not playing that shit. Like, I'm not, like, we have a strong code that we're gonna ride for each other and be for each other, and we're all for one and one for all. And
right,
I think that is why this arc is so important, because after this, outside of probably one moment, there really is nothing that tears them apart after this. They're all like, hey, we're locked in forever. Like, it got to a point where like they don't even need, like, they have some non-verbal moments where they're just like, hey, I already know what this means. Like, you ain't gotta say nothing else. So it's like I think that's why this arc is so important, and this arc I think does such a great job of installing is like, no, this is a real crew. This is a real crew of pirates here. This is not no ragtag just thrown together characters. Like they are all under this one banner, and they're gonna rep that banner until the day that they die, essentially. So I think that's what just draws you in so much for this art.
Take us home, AD. What's this about?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have made it this far into your One Piece journey, there's no turning back. Everything that LJ said is pretty much on the nose. If you made it this far, you're locked in, and this is what essentially makes One Piece so great. This is probably top 2, maybe top 3 at most, best arcs in One Piece, and definitely, in my opinion, one of the best in anime and manga. Like, it shows the friendship, it shows like adversity, overcoming that adversity, bonds being broken, rebuilding them. It's a lot of things that just play into this entire arc, and it's almost perfect. I'm not going to say it's perfect because there are a lot of things here and there that are, questionable of how things happen. But for the overarching narrative that they set up with One Piece and the things that they follow through on in this arc, it's a classic. It's rewatching it over and over so many times. I don't think my love for this arc or this series has diminished. It probably reignited it, and I'm probably gonna just like speed through everything at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Listen, I already told you I'm already a Marine for it.
Listen, let me ask you this. This is a fun question. You said almost perfect. What is the perfect arc in anime that you've seen?
What is in One Piece or just in anime in general?
Just in anime in general. If this is almost perfect, what is perfect?
Anything out of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh, I mean,
yeah. That I would say Dark Tournament is up there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let J&D hear you say that.
I said it's up there. It's up there. But because I like Chapter Black more. York knew from Hunter.
Yeah, York knew is damn near a perfect. That's damn near a perfect arc.
Like 5-star arcs.
Let's see.
The Frieza Saga is pretty up there to me.
Yeah,
Frieza Saga is like, you start from the beginning. It's long as fuck. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But what it does with establish where it ends, what's built up to it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's a long arc for sure, but there's not many moments where you're kind of like, let's hurry this up. Like, it does a good job of fleshing out a lot.
I think the Saiyan Saga, or at least like
Saiyan Saga's pretty good. Yeah,
that's probably more perfect to me.
Perfect.
I would say. Oh, I just had it on the tip of my tongue. I can't think about it. Sasuke retrieval, low key. Even though that ended kind of bad, like everything that they set out for was pretty spot on. It's like
fuck Sasuke retrieval.
I will say probably final arc in Demon Slayer, even though it's going to be movies now. It's pretty. I mean, the last part, like when they try to jab step you at the end of it, is what I'll say. Maybe it doesn't make it perfect, but overall, I would say it's perfect.
No cap. I'm not going to say this. This might get some flack, but I think that Coming to America arc in Dr. Stone is pretty good. It's kind of up there for me.
It's pretty good. Listen, Dr. Stone, you're gonna do the damn. They take too long between shows, but it's seasons. But it is what it is. It does the damn thing, man. And then
last one for me is probably the maybe this arc
AOT
in Iron Blooded Orphans. That first arc for Iron Blooded Orphans.
I haven't seen it.
Oh. Okay, I got one more, and that's that entire L versus Light in Death Note. That's probably like
anime so tight. Don't you ever just sit back and be like, "Damn, anime!"
Yeah.
Anime so fucking cool, bro. What?
Hold on. So 2 more. I'm gonna say AOT because that Return to Shiganshina arc.
I was thinking that too.
and then the Marley arc, like the Marley arc where they pull up to Marley, and because to me, like low key, that Aaron speaking of Reiner episode is probably a top. It's like one of the best anime episodes of anything I've ever seen ever. Like the build to it is just like of just two niggas just talking and just like I'm gonna kill you. And then he's like, Brah! And, he does everything, and Reiner's like, I'm trying to kill myself. But we'll get to that at some point. I'm sure we'll get to. I'm sure we'll get to AOT at some point. But no,
there's so many arcs.
This is up there. This is up there because I feel like even some of those that I actually talked about, like I feel like even this arc is really up there with them. Like this is one of the best that I've ever seen, and I'm thoroughly enjoyed watching it.
See, man, AD knows. I've been arguing it down, but I still think Dressrosa is the one that stands above it all.
Nah, Marineford, bro. Between this and Marineford, Dressrosa is like
Dressrosa gives you. It's like Carlito. It's like Carlito's story. It's like Carlito's story in anime form. What do you not have in Dressrosa? You got drug dealing. You got pimping. You got triple, double, quadruple crosses. You got what? Oh my God! Dressrosa is. You got a Dominican. We got a Dominican.
I'm sorry.
We got a Dominican villain.
There's a part in the post time skip where like half the Straw Hats just aren't there. We get side characters, we get other people that games, and that's fun. I ain't gonna hold you, but like, yeah, no, that's not.
Oh man, Dressrosa.
It's under Wano. Goddamn, I'm sorry. Like,
listen. First of all, I want to thank everybody for tuning in for Summer at Kame House. If you kept up with us for the last number of weeks, thank you guys for tuning in. This is one thing that we've done. It's different than what we've done. Usually every summer we're going through various things and we're going through various animes. We decided to tie this all together, make it really, really fun, and have a really, really great year. So thank you guys for tuning in for Summer at Kame House at the Lookout. Of course, we'll be taking another break on the Lookout, and then we'll probably be back to talk about anime from this year that ended, anime that's coming up, past anime that we need to get to. There's still more classics out there that we need to talk about.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So as long as there are classic anime out, the Lookout will be there. Over 6 years strong, still kicking and moving.
Maybe we gonna let the fans choose the next one. I don't know. Maybe.
Who knows? Maybe if y'all really want to hear it and I don't want to see it, listen, I'm gonna look at the analytics, and if y'all ain't listening, I'm gonna punch y'all in the face for not listening. If y'all pick whatever the hell I want to see. But with that said, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys follow the Lookout at the Lookout on RNC Radio on Twitter. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, on YouTube especially, make sure you tap into the YouTube, make sure you tap into the TikTok, make sure you tap into the Instagram. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, man. We will see you guys next time. Take care. Peace.